So today, we're traveling about 20 miles to the west of Elko to go check out the little town of Carlin and its one brothel, the Dovetail Ranch. The town of Carlin was established in 1868 and was the first town in Elko County. Carlin is named after William Passmore Carlin, who served as a general during the Civil War. Unlike most towns in northern Nevada that were created due to mining, Carlin was created because of the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad. The railroad made Carlin the main terminal for the Eastern Humboldt Division and built a large rail yard with a 16-stall roundhouse. By 1869, Carlin had a post office and a school in operation because of all the people that were moving to the area to work for the railroads. Carlin actually had the first public library in the entire state of Nevada. The railroad industry attracted a lot of foreign workers. In Carlin, it was mostly Chinese and Italians, which created a very diverse population for the area. But because of that, Carlin soon had a very thriving business community. And soon there were many stores, supply houses, saloons. I'm sure there was some hidden brothels here and there. You know, all the fun stuff that you find in the Old West. Today, Carlin is a sleepy little town with a population of about 2,000 people. There's still a handful of local businesses. You'll find a couple of bars and little restaurants, small grocery store, and there's a few truck stops off the main entrance of the highway. And they're only down to one brothel these days. But you can still find a lot of the old storefronts from times past. Some people have even converted some of these old buildings into homes and live there. There is still a very cool old footbridge that passes over the railroad tracks so people could get by all the constant trains that used to come through here. Back in the day, Carlin served as the main hub for many of the surrounding stagecoach routes because of the amount of passenger trains that traveled through this area. Carlin's railroad industry thrived until about the mid-1900s. In the mid-1900s, the railroads no longer depended on Carlin's ample water sources, and more Americans were driving automobiles and not relying on trains for transportation. Due to the decline, a lot of people started moving out of the area, looking for work elsewhere. Don't worry, I have not forgotten about finding Carlin's one and only brothel. It sits on the outskirts of town, and we're going to be heading that way shortly. Luckily, for the residents that stuck around, a new industry emerged for Carlin, and in the 1960s, Newmont Mining Company discovered microscopic gold deposits to the north of Carlin. And to this day, mining is still a primary industry for Carlin, as well as the surrounding towns and communities. Hell, even yours truly, BobbyG, works for one of the mines in northern Nevada. Hey, look, there's the famous Chin's Cafe, Carlin's awesome Chinese restaurant. If you find yourself in this town, you may want to stop in and check it out. Okay, it's time to head west and head to the outskirts of Carlin, and let's go see if we can find this famous Dovetail Ranch, Carlin's true hotspot. After driving around Carlin a little bit, it seems to be made up mostly of older homes. Some of them are actually pretty nice. There also seems to be a fair amount of mobile homes as well. Pretty nice sized park there off to the left. Off to the right is a building that says Carlin Video. It's now closed down, it looks like. But I bet that was the spot to get your VHS tapes back in the day. Okay, heading west, out of town. Let's go find this famous Dovetail Ranch. I know it's out here someplace. As I got close to the Dovetail Ranch, I came across this old wagon on display. This is left over from the California Trail days as people tried to head west. It's actually donated by the Dovetail Ranch. And way off behind the wagon back there, I can see the Dovetail Ranch. So let's go check this out. So I filmed Dovetail Ranch from the street, and it seemed like there's some Connex boxes or semi-trailers around the property. Maybe they're used for storage or something, hard to say. But if you look on my channel, I've been lucky enough to have been invited to tour some of the other brothels located in northern Nevada. I've been to the Desert Rose in Elko, as well as Bella's Hacienda in Wells. And if the owners of the Dovetail Ranch ever see this video, if they'd like to give me a tour, just shoot me a message and I would be more than happy to meet with you. Well, folks, heading east back into Carlin, we found the famous Dovetail Ranch. It looks like a cool little spot out there. Time to head back to Elko, though. This looks like a pretty cool old house as you come into Carlin. I bet that was really cool back in the day. Anyway, if you guys like unique things in northern Nevada and ghost towns, interesting spots, brothels, feel free to check out other videos on my channel. And as always, we really appreciate you watching.